Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, welcome to Romania. Herzlich willkommen. Why? Because we have a little problem here. A little problem is that people do not really know what's going on in the country if you just listen to your own mass media. Now, maybe you know, since you want to watch this video, that Andrew Tate was incarcerated temporarily, right? And I think that happened about 3 months ago or so. Well, guess what? So he was incarcerated for 30 days, then another 30 days, and then now they want another 30 days. They agreed to that. And Andrew Tate and his brother are charged with all kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if human trafficking and violence and assault and probably money laundering, something like that. Anyway, I don't know if that's true or not. That's why allow the law, the justice, to take its course. But this is Romania, my friends. I kept telling you. They tell you Romania is in the European Union. They tell you Romania is a NATO country. They tell you Romania has a German president. I mean, Romanian, but of German origin. Like you would have, let's say, a Palestinian from Israel being the president or the prime minister of Israel. Nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. It's just funny. Or like you have Zelensky Stein being the president of the Ukrainian nation. Good luck. Good job. Hey, you got Shmihal as well. Hey, you got Reznikov as well. And Yermak. So you got the president, vice president, or foreign, prime minister. You got the defense minister, Reznikov. And you got the chief of staff, Yermak. Good job. Ukrainska. Right? How is that? Slava Ukrainska? Yeah, okay. All right. So we have here in Romania, we have other things. So we have Andrew Tate. He, the court in the country of Romania rejected his bail application because he's so dangerous and he will just disappear. I don't know, he's going to go on the moon if he's allowed to get out of jail. But others are, no problem. These guys could not figure out a way to accept or, not reject, approve, let's say, Andrew Tate's bail. They couldn't figure out something like house arrest, and I think this is just humiliation. I don't think it's anything else. You need to keep this guy and this guy in jail, in Romanian jail. Well, this comes from BBC. Must be true, BBC. Now, a Romanian court has rejected the latest application for bail by Andrew Tate. The controversial British social media influencer and his brother Tristan have been detained since December. You see, this word is good only for a part of the society, a segment. This doesn't exist for others. You can substitute the controversial with other words that these guys would not put over there for this guy. I listened to him a few times. I agree with some. I disagree with others. But this is what they put because they want him to be called controversial. He's very, in the eyes and hearts and brains of many others, he could be perceived as something else. He could be perceived, I don't know, I saw many guys online saying that he's a hero, that he's a normal person, he's intelligent, he's courageous, but he's controversial. As I said, I don't know what happened. Maybe he's just a wild beast, using women and beating them and so on. If that's the case, if there's evidence to support those allegations, by all means, let justice, as I said, do what it does best, like they did with those guys who bombarded Yugoslavia in 1999 without the United Nations Security Council's approval, which makes that under the international law. Anyway, let's go back to this. We always go that way. They are bringing They are being investigated on charges of rape, people trafficking, I thought the human trafficking, and forming an organized crime group. Both have denied wrongdoing. Well, investigate and find out. But why do you keep them over there? To gather the information? Oh, why? Not to run away? You can find ways, house arrest and other shit with cameras and all that. Mr. Tate's spokeswoman said that the ruling was, and I'm quoting, disappointing, end quote, and that his legal team would appeal. Lawyers for Mr. Tate have long argued that keeping him in preventative custody is unnecessarily harsh when other judicial options, such as, I didn't even think about that, I didn't read this article, such as house arrest are available. I mean, that's logical. I am not a genius, but judges have so far disagreed based on the perceived risk of Mr. Tate fleeing. If you got armed guards over there, how is he gonna flee? He's gonna be turned invisible man or something? So fleeing the country, influencing witnesses or evidence, or that his release would disturb public order. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We got Biden loose. What are you talking about? We can't let this guy loose. We got Hunter Biden loose. The request for bail in place of custody was new, but the response from the court the same. In late February, the court ruled that Mr. Tate should remain in custody until the 29th of March. On Wednesday, Mr. Tate's brother Tristan will also apply for bail in a separate hearing. Last month, an appeals court overturned all but one of the justification for keeping Tristan Tate in detention. No charges have yet been brought against the brothers or the two Romanian associates who were arrested alongside them. In 2016, Mr. Tate, a former kickboxer, was removed from British TV show Big Brother over a video which appeared to show him attacking a woman. Was he charged? If he was charged, convicted, paid a penalty, and then come back to life. What happened if he's... So don't bring this if he was not charged with that, all right? Or convicted. If he was convicted, if he did whatever was necessary, like, I don't know, go to jail, be, I know, on, how do you call it, on probation, or on you know, how do you call the other one? Is I always make probation and parole. Always I get it wrong. I mean, not wrong. I know exactly what it is, but always probation comes first and parole comes next. So anyway, let's see. He went on to gain notoriety online, with Twitter banning him for saying women should bear responsibility for being sexually assaulted. He has since been reinstated. Right, despite social media bans, he gained popularity, particularly among young men, but promoting what he presented as a hyper-masculine, ultra-luxurious lifestyle. As I said, I don't know if he's guilty or not. I'm not going to say it the third time, but I think it's I don't want to say inhumane, but there could be ways found to allow him to be at house arrest at least. Remember this guy, that weasel, but he was different. The guy who had that little Bitcoin currency, the cryptocurrency, I know, that had $1 billion something, and then everything was up. He was in Bahamas, I think. He was arrested over there, brought to the United States of America. Just look at his bio, and maybe seeing his bio will help you understand certain things. And when you look at his bio, look at his parents. Look at his parents, his father, and his mom, where they worked, and look at whom they knew where they worked. I'm going to give you, I think it's MIT, all right? So go in MIT, Massachusetts, and go over there and you're going to find who his parents are, who they had friends in MIT, those friends, who are those friends now in politics, and maybe, I don't know, the guy was just, he was released, right, on bond. He stays home with mommy and daddy, all right, and in case he flees, all right, he's got a tether attached to his ankle and some cameras. And if he flees somehow, I don't know, maybe to Israel or to London or something like that, and somewhere where he cannot be extradited, the parents will lose about $350 million in the property that they have from, not from MIT. They can't make that. So they let that weasel go, but these guys, they can't even be under house arrest. I don't think that's how that equal something under the law or something. As I said, I'm not, as I said, now certain things I like about what he says, something, and besides, one thing is what someone does, and he tells you, well, I'm tough, but he's a weasel, you know. But if he's telling you something like, let's say you get Plato, the philosopher, right there. If you take Plato, he tells you a lot of things that, you know, show strength and power. You don't know if he was a tough guy. I mean, Plato was, because he had a broad shoulders, that's why he was called, you know, wide. No, but I don't know if he was a tough guy and he beat people up and so on. And you have a lot of people who are just, you know, like for instance, Friedrich Nietzsche, another philosopher, German philosopher. He never proved to be a tough guy, but all his philosophy is about being tough and, you know, strong and all that. To compensate, I don't care. The philosophy is good. I don't care what he did. It's not like a priest when he tells you do this, because the priest is involved in that. You know what I mean? He has to show holiness. The philosopher doesn't have to show you virtue, but he can teach virtue, because it's something about here, not about being. No, if he doesn't follow what he preaches, you don't go by that. Oh, the philosopher is a womanizer, but he talks about abstinence. You think about, does it fit your thing? Yes. No. You don't have to do what the philosopher does. You have to do what he says if you think that that's smart. The same with this guy. I don't care if he has 3 dicks or 0 dick down there. I don't care. Now, obviously, law is the law. But if we would go with the justice, then we should look in other issues as well. Okay? How about that? So that's it. Denied bail. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.